Hi everyone. Welcome to English Story School. If you're ready to discover what it truly takes to make your mark on the world and leave a legacy that never fades, this story is for you. Broken into 5 powerful parts, it begins with the awakening, a spark in the dark, where your journey starts with that first step toward greatness. Then comes the storm, facing the impossible, testing your strength when it feels like the world is against you. Following that is the breakthrough, the unseen victory, where your persistence leads to the success you've been fighting for. The transformation, becoming who you were meant to be, is next, where you shed your old self and embrace a bold new version of you. Finally, it all culminates in the legacy, leaving your mark forever when you realize your impact will last far beyond your lifetime. Ready to start? Let's dive in. Part 1. The Awakening, a spark in the dark. Have you ever stood on the edge of something big, something so vast that it made you wonder, can I really do this? What does it truly take to rule the world? To make a mark that remains, unshaken by the passage of time? How many of us dare to even think about the possibility, let alone pursue it? It's easy to get lost in the idea of greatness, but it's much harder to take that first step into it. It's a step that requires more than just vision, more than just desire. It demands something deeper, a raw, unyielding belief in yourself. Now, imagine standing on the precipice of your dreams. The world is spread out before you, as vast and open as the horizon. It's waiting for you to take that first step forward. That first step is the hardest, yet the most essential. No one can walk this path for you. The journey to rule the world, your world, begins with you. No one can write your story except you. And once you take that first step, there's no turning back. You just made a decision that will shape the rest of your life. You are the author of your own destiny, no one else. But don't get it twisted. This journey won't be easy. Oh no, making your mark isn't some straight, paved road that leads to a big, shiny trophy at the end. It's a path filled with bumps, twists, and moments that will make you question everything. You'll face challenges that seem insurmountable, people who doubt you, and situations that will push you to your limits. But here's the thing, these are not setbacks. They're stepping stones. Strength doesn't come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't. The path to greatness is not a smooth one. It's the ultimate test of character. Every time you think you've reached your limit, life throws a curveball. It's in those moments when your back is against the wall, when the world seems to be falling apart around you, that you have a choice. You can crumble under the pressure, or you can rise. You can decide whether you'll be a victim of circumstances or a champion of your own journey. And let me tell you this, you have what it takes to rise. Think about the greats. Every legend, every icon, every person who made a lasting impact on this world faced adversity. From the heights of success to the depths of failure, they experienced it all. And what made them legends wasn't their ability to escape struggles. No. It was their ability to face them head-on, to take them on with courage and tenacity. They didn't just rise once. They rose over and over again, each time stronger than the last. But let's take a deeper look. What exactly does it take to rule the world? To truly make your mark in a way that endures the test of time? It's not about power or control. It's not about having the most followers or the loudest voice. No. It's about influence. It's about the ability to inspire others, to create something that leaves a lasting imprint. To do this, you must first believe in your own power. You must believe that what you have to offer is valuable, that your dreams are worth fighting for, no matter how many people tell you otherwise. Every person who's ever made a lasting impact started with a belief in themselves, no matter how small that belief was at the beginning. Maybe they didn't have all the answers. Maybe they didn't have a clear map of how to get to where they wanted to be. But they had the most important thing. They had the drive. They believed so fiercely in their potential that they were willing to risk everything to chase their dreams. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today. And here's the kicker. The belief in yourself isn't enough. Belief is just the beginning. The next step is action. You can believe all you want that you're capable of greatness, but if you don't take action, if you don't take the leap, then those dreams will remain nothing but fantasies. Action is what turns dreams into reality. Without action, your belief is just a thought. But when you act on that belief, when you take that first step into the unknown, you open the door to a world of possibilities. Now, let's talk about fear. It's the one thing that holds us back more than anything else. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of being judged. But here's the thing about fear. It only has the power you give it. You can choose to let fear control you, or you can choose to face it head on and let it fuel your fire. Every fear you overcome is another step closer to your greatness. Every time you face something that scares you and you don't back down, you're building the foundation for your success. Do one thing every day that scares you. It's so easy to look at successful people and think they have it all figured out. You see their achievements, their success, and you think to yourself, they're special. They're different from me. But the truth is, they're not different. They just dare to take the leap. They stepped into the unknown when it seemed like the safer option was to stay where they were. They kept moving forward, even when the path wasn't clear. They built their future step by step, just as you can. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So, I ask you again, what will it take for you to rule the world? What will it take for you to make your mark? A mark that never fades. It starts with you. It starts with that first step. It starts with the courage to chase your dreams no matter how hard it gets. It starts with the belief that you are worthy, that your ideas matter, and that your story is just as important as anyone else's. It starts with the willingness to face the unknown, to conquer your fears, and to refuse to give up, no matter how many times you fail. You are not here to be average. You are here to be extraordinary. The world is waiting for you to step into your power, to make your mark. Don't hold back. Don't play small. It's time to rise, to take your place in the world, and to create a legacy that will never fade. This is your moment. This is your chance. The world is yours to rule, so go ahead and take it. Part 2. The storm facing the impossible. Now, let's take a deeper dive into the reality of what it takes to rule the world. So far, we've talked about the spark, the first step, the excitement of pursuing something great. But here's where things get real. It's time to face the storm. Yes, the storm. That force of nature that shows up when you least expect it and tests everything you've worked for, everything you believe in. Have you ever faced a challenge that made you feel like you were drowning? A challenge that seemed impossible? One that made you question your own strength, your resolve, and your ability to push forward? We've all been there. The storm is an inevitable part of the journey, and it's not something you can avoid. But here's the catch. It's not about avoiding the storm. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. Think about this for a second. Life has a way of throwing unexpected hurdles in our path. And when you first face those obstacles, it can feel overwhelming. There will be days when it feels like the whole world is against you, when failure knocks louder than success, and when your confidence seems like it's slipping through your fingers. You may even find yourself questioning your worth, your purpose, or whether it's even worth continuing. But let me tell you this. Those moments, those very moments, are the proving grounds of your future. They're the tests that will either break you or build you. And believe me, you're not here to break. You're here to build. In those moments of self-doubt, when you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, that's when your true strength is forged. The storm doesn't come to defeat you. It comes to strengthen you. Think about the greatest victories in history. Were they achieved by avoiding hardship? No. They were won by people who faced impossible odds and came out the other side stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Imagine yourself standing in the middle of a storm. The wind is howling, the rain is pouring down, and everything you thought you knew about yourself is being challenged. In that moment, you might feel small, insignificant even. It's easy to feel like you're powerless, to feel like the storm is too much for you to handle. But then something shifts. You feel a spark, a flicker of light deep within. That spark is your willpower. It's your dream. It's your unyielding drive to keep moving forward, no matter what. And as that spark grows, it lights a fire inside of you that says, I won't be beaten. Not today, not ever. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. This storm isn't here to destroy you. It's here to make you better. The more you endure, the stronger you become. Each challenge you face, each obstacle you overcome, adds to your resilience, your ability to withstand whatever comes next. It's in the hardest moments, the ones that seem impossible, that you're being shaped into someone who can take on anything. The beauty of the storm is that it forces you to grow. It forces you to become more than you ever thought you could be. Let's take a moment to think about some of the greatest figures in history. Think about Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison for his beliefs. Did he give up in the face of adversity? No. He rose time and time again, knowing that his purpose was bigger than any storm life could throw his way. Think about Thomas Edison, who failed over 1,000 times before perfecting the light bulb. Each failure was a storm, yet he didn't let it define him. He used it to fuel his determination. And let's not forget about J.K. Rowling, who faced rejection after rejection before her Harry Potter books became a global phenomenon. She was told that her work wasn't good enough, but she didn't listen. Instead, she used those rejections as fuel to create a legacy that would never fade. So what's the lesson here? The storm is a rite of passage. It's the moment that separates those who give up from those who push forward. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. The road to greatness is not a smooth one. It's not meant to be. But in the roughest moments, that's when your true power emerges. When you find yourself in the storm, don't run away from it. Don't hide. Embrace it. The storm is your chance to grow, to develop, and to prove to yourself that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. The key to navigating this storm lies in how you respond to it. When life throws a curveball, you don't let it knock you down. Instead, you find a way to turn that challenge into an opportunity. You find a way to rise, to come out stronger, and to keep going. The more storms you face, the more you realize that you are not fragile. You're not weak. In fact, you are built from the strongest material there is, resilience. You are designed to endure, to keep moving forward no matter the odds. And here's the most powerful part. You get to decide how you react to the storm. Will you let it drown you, or will you learn to thrive in it? It's all about perspective. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth, and every hardship is a chance to prove to yourself that you can overcome it. It's not the strength of the body that counts, but the strength of the spirit. There's a quote by American author and motivational speaker, Eric Thomas, that says, "When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful." The storm is a test of how badly you want to succeed. How badly do you want to leave a mark on this world? How much do you want to make your dreams a reality? The more you want it, the more you will fight for it, no matter what life throws your way. Every time you face a storm, remember this: you are not alone. You are part of a long line of people who have faced adversity and turned it into triumph. You are a warrior, And warriors don't back down. They don't surrender to the storm. They use the storm to fuel their fight, to sharpen their focus, and to grow stronger. So, the next time you face a storm, whether it's in your career, your relationships, or your personal growth, remember that it's not here to destroy you. It's here to build you. It's here to push you beyond your limits, to make you rise above the challenges, and to show you that you have the strength to rule your world. The storm may be fierce, but it is nothing compared to the power within you. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. It's time to embrace the storm, to let it shape you, and to emerge from it stronger, more determined, and ready to take on whatever comes next. Part 3. The breakthrough, the unseen victory. What if I told you that your greatest breakthrough, the one that will change everything, is just around the corner? Think about it. Every step you've taken, every hardship you've endured, every drop of sweat you've shed, it's all been leading to this moment. The truth is, breakthroughs don't happen when everything is smooth. They happen when you've reached the edge, when you've pushed through the darkest hour, when you're exhausted and just about ready to give up. It's in that exact moment that the magic happens. It's not a coincidence. It's the culmination of every ounce of effort you've put in, every single sacrifice, and every second of unwavering belief in yourself. We've all heard about people who seem to have success handed to them, but the truth is, behind every success story is a series of moments where those people almost didn't make it. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He's known as the inventor of the light bulb. But did you know he failed over 1,000 times before achieving his breakthrough? Imagine being in his shoes. Failure after failure after failure. How many of us would have thrown in the towel after just 10 failures, or even 100? But Edison didn't stop. He kept going. He persisted. And in doing so, he unlocked a breakthrough that forever changed the world. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. That's the truth about success. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about embracing it. It's about understanding that every setback, every challenge, every failure is simply a step toward your victory. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who don't is how they respond to those failures. Will you let them defeat you, or will you rise each time, stronger, smarter, and more determined? That's how you make your mark, by seeing every struggle not as an obstacle, but as a stepping stone toward your ultimate breakthrough. Think about this. The night is always darkest just before the dawn. You've probably heard that phrase 1,000 times, but let it sink in for a moment. The darkest moment of your journey is often the one that leads to your greatest transformation. It's in that moment of exhaustion, when you feel like you can't go any further, that your breakthrough is just on the other side. Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. There will be times when it feels like nothing is going your way. Maybe you're working day and night and getting no results. Maybe you're putting everything you have into your dream, and yet you feel stuck. It's easy to look around and wonder if it's all worth it, if the breakthrough will ever come. But here's the thing. It always comes when you least expect it. And it's always the result of persistence, resilience, and believing that success is just a little bit further down the road. Let me share a powerful story. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, faced rejection after rejection for publishers. She was told that her book wouldn't sell, that it wasn't worth publishing. Imagine if she had listened to that feedback. Imagine if she had given up after the first or second rejection. The world would have never known the magic of Hogwarts. But she didn't quit. She kept going, even when it felt like the world was telling her to stop. And her breakthrough came when she least expected it, when a publisher finally took a chance on her. And the rest, as they say, is history. Her breakthrough didn't just change her life, it changed the world. It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. And here's the reality. Your breakthrough is no different. It's just waiting for you to embrace it. You have no idea how close you are to your moment of transformation. Every time you push through the storm, every time you keep fighting when you're exhausted, every time you believe when others doubt you, you're one step closer to that breakthrough. The universe doesn't reward quitters. It rewards those who refuse to give up. We all have those moments in life when we think we've reached the end of the road, when we feel like we've given all we have to give. But that's exactly when your breakthrough is right around the corner. It's in those moments that you must hold on just a little longer, push a little harder, and keep the faith a little stronger. The moment you give up is the moment you let someone else win. It's easy to let fear, doubt, and exhaustion control your actions. It's easy to look at the road ahead and feel overwhelmed. But what if you could change your perspective? What if, instead of seeing failure and hardship as signs to stop, you started seeing them as signs that you're on the verge of something great? Imagine the power that would give you. Imagine how unstoppable you'd be if you knew that every challenge was just a part of the process, a necessary step toward your breakthrough. Remember, the path to your breakthrough isn't a straight line. It's full of detours, bumps, and moments when it seems like everything is falling apart. But that's where the real work happens. That's where your strength is built. Your breakthrough isn't just a moment in time. It's the result of everything you've done up to this point. Every failure, every setback, every challenge, it's all part of your story. And when you finally reach your breakthrough, you'll realize that all of those struggles were worth it. As you continue your journey, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to face the impossible. Because the truth is, failure isn't your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. The impossible is just another word for undiscovered potential. Every time you push through, you learn something new about yourself. You discover strengths you never knew you had. And eventually, you reach that breakthrough, the moment when everything changes. So don't stop now. Keep going. Keep pushing. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. And trust me, when that breakthrough finally comes, you'll look back on everything you've overcome and realize that it was all worth it. You have to fight through some bad days to earn the best days of your life. Your breakthrough is coming. Stay strong, stay focused, and most importantly, never stop believing in yourself. Part 4. The transformation, becoming who you were meant to be. You made it. You've weathered the storm. You've crossed the hardest hurdles that life could throw your way. And now look at you. You're not the same person you were at the beginning of this journey. No, far from it. You have transformed. The version of you that doubted, that hesitated, that feared failure, he is gone. In his place stands a new you, unstoppable, fierce, and unapologetically bold. But let me be clear, this transformation didn't happen overnight. Oh no, it happened in the small moments. The moments when you chose to rise instead of fall, when you chose to keep going even when every part of you screamed to stop. It happened when you pushed yourself a little harder, when you embraced discomfort, and when you said no to settling for anything less than you deserve. Your transformation will only begin when you realize you are capable of more than you ever thought possible. You see, the old you, your doubts, your hesitations, your fears, were just part of the process. They weren't there to hold you back. They were there to push you forward. Every moment of uncertainty, every step into the unknown, was shaping you into the person you are becoming. And now that person is standing tall, stronger than ever, ready to take on the world. And that's the beauty of transformation. It doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you are. When you transform, you don't just follow the rules anymore. You create your own rules. You stop seeking validation from others because you've found validation within yourself. You don't need approval from the outside world because you've learned to approve of yourself. When you own your story, you own your power. That's what transformation is about. It's about stepping into your own power and walking through life knowing that you are the difference. You don't need anyone to tell you that you matter. You know you do. And that confidence? It's unshakable. Think about this for a moment. Before your transformation, maybe you played it safe. You held back, not wanting to make waves. Maybe you were afraid of failure or rejection. You tried to fit into boxes created by others. But now, you're breaking down those boxes. You're creating your own space, your own path, and you're walking it with your head held high, knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be. When you step into your transformation, everything shifts. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you approach challenges, it all changes. You become a magnet for success, not because you're perfect, but because you're unapologetically yourself. You no longer chase after things. You attract them because you've stepped into your power. You no longer wait for opportunities to come to you. You create them. And when you enter a room, it's not just because you've physically arrived. You've already made your mark. You've already created a presence, a legacy. You were born to be real, not to be perfect. Now, let's talk about how this transformation feels. At first, it's terrifying. It's like shedding a skin that's been a part of you for so long. It feels like you're losing part of yourself. But here's the thing. You're not losing anything. You're becoming more. That skin was just a layer, a protective shield that you built to keep yourself safe, but it was never meant to last forever. You've outgrown it. The new version of you is bigger, stronger, and more capable than the one who first started this journey. Transformation is like a fire. At first, you feel the heat. It's uncomfortable. It burns. But after that initial heat, something incredible happens. You begin to realize that the fire has refined you. It has melted away the parts of you that were holding you back. It has hardened you into a stronger version of yourself. You're no longer fragile. You are solid. You are unbreakable. And that fire? It's still burning inside of you, propelling you forward. The most beautiful part about transformation is that it never stops. Just when you think you've become the person you were meant to be, there's another layer to peel away. There's another version of yourself waiting to emerge. And with each layer, you become more powerful, more unstoppable. It's not a destination. It's a continuous process. You're constantly evolving, growing, and becoming more of who you were always meant to be. But here's the secret. When you finally realize that you are your own creator, that you have the power to shape your life and your future, you enter a different realm of freedom. You no longer look at the world around you and wish for things to change. You look at it and think, I can make this happen. And then you do. You become the architect of your destiny, the master of your fate. Every decision you make is aligned with who you've become and who you are still becoming. You no longer live in the shadow of doubt. You walk in the light of certainty. This is the power of transformation. It doesn't just change your circumstances. It changes your mindset, your beliefs, and most importantly, your reality. It's about understanding that you were never meant to be ordinary. You were born for greatness. You were born to rule your world. And the more you embrace this truth, the more you see the world bend to your will. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today. And so, the question becomes, are you ready to fully step into this new version of yourself? Are you ready to leave behind the old version of you? The one that played small, that feared failure, that doubted your worth? Because that version of you no longer has a place in your future. The person you've become, the person you're still becoming, that's the one who will rule the world. And the world is waiting for you to take your rightful place. You have already transformed. The question now is, how will you show up? Will you continue to shrink back? Or will you boldly step forward and claim your destiny? Because this is your time. This is your moment. And with every breath you take, you're one step closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. Part 5. The Legacy, Leaving Your Mark Forever. Here's the truth about ruling the world. It's not about control. It's not about dominating others or bending the world to your will. Ruling the world is about something deeper. It's about impact. It's about the legacy you leave behind, the ripple effect of your actions that continue to inspire others long after you've gone. It's about becoming the person who makes a difference, the person who not only achieves greatness, but ignites greatness in others. So what does it mean to truly rule the world? It means making your mark in a way that echoes through time. It means living a life so powerful, so impactful, that it doesn't just end with you. Your influence doesn't die when you do. It lives on, passed from person to person, from generation to generation, like a flame passed from one torch to another. When you've truly made your mark, you don't just stop. You continue to inspire. You continue to lead. And your legacy? It will never fade. Think for a moment about the leaders, the visionaries, the trailblazers who have come before you. We look to people like Mahatma Gandhi, who, through nonviolent resistance, changed the course of history, or Nelson Mandela, who fought for equality and justice despite being imprisoned for 27 years. Their lives were not just about their own success or accomplishments. What they left behind wasn't just fame, wealth, or titles. No, what they left behind was a message that resonates across time, telling the world, you too can rise. You too can rule your world. And that's the core of your legacy. Your task now is to do the same. Your mission, now that you've stepped into your power, is to leave a legacy that never fades. To build something bigger than yourself, something that will continue to inspire long after you're gone. It's not about the title, the fame, or the recognition. It's not about checking boxes or collecting trophies. It's about the difference you make in the world. It's about the lives you touch, the people you uplift, the change you create. The greatest thing you can do is leave a mark that can never be erased. This is the truth that every great leader, every visionary has understood. They understood that the measure of a life is not in what you accumulate, but in what you give away. It's not in the material things you acquire, but in the legacy you build through your actions, your kindness, your influence, and your courage. You don't need to be famous to leave a mark. You don't need to be wealthy or powerful. What matters is how you live, how you lead, and how you inspire others to follow their own path of greatness. Now, let's be clear, leaving a lasting legacy isn't easy. It requires courage, persistence, and above all, vision. Vision to see beyond the moment, to look at the big picture and understand that the impact you make will ripple out, influencing others in ways you can't even imagine. It's the ability to keep going, to keep fighting, even when the end goal seems distant. But that's where the magic lies. The belief that what you're doing matters, not just for you, but for the world. And that belief will guide you, even when the path gets tough. Think about how much more powerful your impact becomes when you stop focusing only on yourself and start thinking about how you can help others. We rise by lifting others. The more you give, the more you inspire. The more you share your knowledge, your wisdom, and your experiences, the more you empower others to do the same. And through that collective energy, a movement begins to grow. It starts small, but it builds and builds until it's something unstoppable. That's how legacies are built. Not by focusing on what you can get, but by focusing on what you can give. Imagine the world years from now. Imagine the people whose lives you've touched, the seeds you've planted, the dreams you've nurtured. Those people will carry your message forward. They will remember you, not for your accolades, but for the change you brought into their lives. That is the essence of a legacy that never fades. It's a life well lived, a life that continues to inspire even after the person who lived it is gone. This is the power of leadership. Not to be the loudest voice in the room, but to be the most impactful. Leadership isn't about asserting dominance. It's about lifting others up, showing them their own strength, and empowering them to find their own path to greatness. When you lead with purpose, with passion, and with integrity, you create an energy that draws others to you. They want to follow you, not because you demand it, but because they see something in you that inspires them to be better, to do better, to rise higher. So, the question is, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? What kind of mark do you want to make in the world? Because it's not about how long you live, it's about how you live. It's about the difference you make while you're here. Your legacy isn't something that happens at the end of your life. It's something you build every single day through every action you take, every word you speak, and every choice you make. When you walk into a room, do you bring light with you? Do you leave people feeling better, inspired, motivated to chase their own dreams? If you do, then you're already building a legacy. When you take the time to help others, when you encourage them to pursue their goals, when you inspire them to be the best versions of themselves, that's your legacy in action. It doesn't have to be grand or spectacular. It can be as simple as a kind word, a shared piece of wisdom, or a helping hand at the right moment. Legacy is not what we leave for others. It's what we leave in others. The truth is, the world needs your legacy. It needs your voice. It needs your energy. It needs your mark. And when you leave that mark, not just on the world, but on the hearts of those who follow in your footsteps, you've done something far more powerful than any title or trophy ever could. You've made a lasting difference. You've created a ripple that will continue to inspire, to lead, and to change the world, one person at a time. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. This is your moment to create that trail. It's time to leave your mark. It's time to make your impact. And it's time to build a legacy that will never fade. And so, the journey comes full circle. You've learned that ruling the world isn't about dominance. It's about strength, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of your dreams. You've realized that the challenges you face are the very things that shape you into a force to be reckoned with. You've discovered that your mark, your legacy, can never fade as long as you live with purpose, passion, and determination. So what are you waiting for? It's time to step into your power, to rise above the noise, and to rule the world in your own unique way. The world is waiting for you to make your mark. So go ahead and make it unforgettable. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.